From Frank spotting a mysterious ghost in the show's pilot episode, to Jamie's undying love for Claire, allowing him to reach out to her across time. Here is how Outlander is coming closer to explaining Jamie's ghost. Now, we all know the show loves throwing us some mind-boggling mysteries, but this one has got us scratching our heads even now. In the pilot episode, Claire is on a romantic getaway with her hubby, Frank. But here's where things get interesting. Now, as Frank strolls back to the inn, guess what he spots? A mysterious Highlander dude standing outside. Fans know that this ghost was none other than Jamie Fraser himself. And naturally, Frank's curiosity gets the better of him, so he decides to go up to him. But just as he's about to tap the guy on the shoulder, Jamie disappears into thin air. Poor Frank is left standing there, with a big old question mark floating above his head. When he finally returns to their room at the inn, Claire can't help but notice his confusion. She tells him that he looks like he's seen a ghost, and Frank responds, saying he isn't sure he hasn't. Can you believe it? The man just encountered a ghostly vision of Jamie Fraser before Claire had even met the guy, and the show made it pretty clear that Jamie wasn't a time traveler. So how the heck did his ghost manage to sneak into 1946 and get a sneak peek of Claire before they even crossed paths? Well, the explanation lies in episode 2 of season 7, when Jamie spills the beans to Claire, finally shedding some light on one of the show's most puzzling mysteries. In the episode, Jamie has this crazy dream that takes him right back to season 1, where he sees Claire at a desk, writing things down. Doesn't that sound familiar? It's just like when we first met Jamie's ghost in the pilot. When talking about the dream, Jamie had this feeling deep down that he was actually seeing Claire in her own time, and he also mentioned how Claire's face was illuminated by some sort of electric light. It's pretty unreal. And speaking of unreal, remember that moment in the pilot episode when Claire and Frank were hanging out in Inverness during the Samhain celebration and the power went out? Coincidence? I think not. That power cut could have been a sign of Claire and Jamie's connection, bringing them together across time. Sure, Jamie's dream didn't give us all the answers about his ghostly appearance in 1946, but hey, it brought the whole thing back into focus. And that's pretty exciting. The Outlander team sure knows how to keep us on our toes, don't they? Speaking of the team, let's hear what Diana Gabaldon, the author of the Outlander book series, has to say about Jamie's ghost. During an interview for the Outlander podcast way back in 2014, Gabaldon confirmed that the ghost we saw was indeed Jamie. Now, she didn't reveal the reason he showed up or what it means for the show's future, but what she did clear up was that Jamie doesn't have that time-traveling superpower. And when fans asked her about the age of the ghost, Diana said he's around 25, but we all know that Jamie lives way past 25. So what's the deal with this spirit paying Claire a visit? Well, Diana promised that all would be revealed in her books, but here's a little bonus info for you. The mysterious writer has given us a thought-provoking explanation about Jamie's ghost. In a tweet from 2015, she dropped a cryptic line talking about how ghosts don't exist in a place where time has meaning. What could that even mean? This loose end has been driving fans crazy for years, and they're trying to figure out what exactly is going on with the ghost storyline. Some are suggesting that the Gaelic festival of Samhain might just hold the key to Jamie's appearance. Yeah, according to a fan, Jamie's spectral appearance played a huge role in luring Claire back to 18th century Scotland to kick off their love story. The theory is that it's almost Samhain, and Jamie summons Claire with some ghostly calls, knowing exactly where she would be. Here's the fun part, though. According to Gaelic tradition, Samhain is like the ultimate cosmic crossing point. It's when the barrier between our world and the spirit realm is thinner than usual. So, if we assume that the Outlander universe honors this tradition, it's entirely possible that Jamie's spirit found a way to fling itself across time, all to nudge Claire back into the past. But hold your horses. Some fans firmly believe that you can't just prance through Craig Nadoon without a loved one holding your hand and pointing you in the right direction. And guess what? This theory starts looking even more solid when you consider that both Claire's daughter, Brianna, and Brianna's future husband, Roger, embark on their own time-traveling adventures. Brianna's on a mission to find her dear mom, and Roger's chasing his one true love. But here's the twist. Claire hadn't even met Jamie at that point, so how the heck did she end up in the past? That's where Jamie's spirit comes into play, guiding her instinctively towards her soulmate through the centuries. Well, the Outlander fandom never ceases to amaze with their wild theories, and there's a lot more where those came from. Another possibility is that Jamie's appearance in Claire's timeline might just be connected to the concept of purgatory. Many fans believe that Jamie, being a Catholic and having lived a violent life, would find himself in purgatory. Well, according to this theory, Jamie's time in purgatory finally comes to an end, and he sets out on a mission to reunite with his one true love, Claire. And since he's a ghost, he could potentially travel between dimensions. So when his 200 years of purgatory are up, he makes a leap through time to the exact moment he first encountered Claire. Clever, right? And here's where the puzzle pieces start falling into place. Claire is at the ripe age of 27, just before she embarks on her 18th century adventure. It's like Jamie strategically timed his ghostly return to catch her right before their love story begins. He's playing the time travel game like a pro. But the theory doesn't stop there and suggests that everything we've seen on the show so far is actually a series of flashbacks and snippets of their lives together. The theory also implies that the last episode will wrap up with Jamie's purgatory finally reaching its end, allowing him to join Claire in eternal bliss. You might think this sounds totally bonkers, but it starts to make sense when you remember that in the Dragonfly and Amber episode, Jamie promised Claire that he would find her no matter what. It's like he planted the seeds of this theory with his heartfelt declaration. This theory has a pretty imaginative interpretation, but it's not near as mind-bending as this next one. Hold on to your kilts, because another theory says that Jamie's soul might have gone on a little adventure outside his body through something called near-death astral projection. Think about it. Jamie, in a moment of danger, finds his soul temporarily leaving his physical form, venturing into the astral realm. It's like his spirit takes a little detour from his body. And in this theory, it's during one of these astral adventures that Jamie's ghost appears before Claire. It's as if his soul reaches out to her from beyond the boundaries of the physical world. But wait, that's not the end of it. Another fascinating theory suggests that Jamie's death occurred in a different timeline, particularly at the Battle of Culloden, and somehow triggered a chain of events that allowed Claire to travel back in time and save him in our present timeline. The core idea here is that Jamie's undying love for Claire is what keeps him going, even in the face of death. It's like the strength of their bond acts as a lifeline, pulling Jamie back to his body and reuniting him with the realm of the living. Now, when it comes to the projection of Jamie's soul, or the appearance of his ghost, there are a couple of possible explanations. One is that the experience of a near-death encounter opened a door for Jamie's spirit to temporarily go beyond the physical realm. The intensity of the experience might have created a connection, which allowed his presence to reach out to Claire. Another angle to consider is the profound love Jamie has for his unseen daughter. This suggests that this deep paternal affection, combined with the power of love itself, could make him manifest in the form of a ghost. It's like Jamie's love for his daughter acts as a catalyst, enabling him to make contact with Claire even from the other side. Well, it looks like the Outlander fandom's creativity knows no bounds, and these theories add an extra layer of spice to an already strange mystery. So there you have it, from Jamie's undying love for Claire allowing him to reach out to her across time, to Frank spotting a mysterious ghost in the show's pilot episode. That's how Outlander is coming closer to explaining Jamie's ghost.